The Smite Update podcast is proudly sponsored by Tweaked Audio. Go to tweakedaudio.com for high-performance noise-reducing earbuds. Use the code OCTANEPRO to get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. Check out tweakedaudio.com today. The Smite Update podcast is proudly sponsored by Tweaked Audio. Go to tweakedaudio.com for high-performance noise-reducing earbuds. Use the code OCTANEPRO to get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. Check out tweakedaudio.com today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 36 of the Smite Update. A little bit of a hiccup there in the beginning, but I think we're good to go. Some weird, Indian music kicked in or something like that. Anyways, guys, welcome to the Smite Update. My name is OCTANEPRO, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Risty. Risty, how's it going, sir?
Hey, well, I don't have my ugly screen behind me now. It's fixed. So.
That's right. You're moving up in the world, sir. You're moving up in the world. So it's been a little while, guys, since we had the last kind of show. Through the holiday, and then we kind of had this hiatus with Hi-Rez. Kind of going on a 2-week holiday break. So there's a lot to cover this week. A lot of team changes, a lot of patch notes to talk about. 100K tournament, a lot more announcements going on there. So a lot of stuff going on there. So before we go ahead and jump into the show, if you guys are just joining us for the first time, what is the Smite Update? We're up onto episode 36. So we've been doing this for, this is 36 weeks, but we've been going longer because, as I say, we've had some breaks in between things. But the Smite Update podcast is a community-run podcast that goes over the latest patch notes, goes over community news, goes over esports results, stuff like that. So it's kind of like your all-around podcast. It's released every week. We try to do it every Sunday after a patch. So if there's no patch, we won't exactly have a show. But since we just did have a patch release, actually a pretty big patch, we'll kind of be jumping into it. Kind of housekeeping stuff. I want to remind you guys, we do have an audio version available. If you go on iTunes, you can find the show, the audio version there on iTunes. You can also find it on Android as well. I personally use a app called Beyond Pod, which is kind of like a podcast app on an Android. So if you guys want to check out the audio-only version, we actually have a pretty good audience on the iTunes store. A lot of people checking it out. A lot of people, check it out on the way to work. A lot of people check it out at the gym. Actually at work, just something to listen to. So make sure you guys do check it out. So let's go ahead and jump into the community news. And I'll kind of take the first one here, and then we'll kind of toss it off to, kind of a larger discussion. So guys, we do have the SmiteShop.com. So I want to recommend that you guys go check it out. I'll go ahead and put it up on screen. This is a project I am running along with Hi-Rez Studios. So I will go ahead and swap over to full screen mode real quick. So this is SmiteShop.com. It is literally, I think it's 10 to 11 pages of Smite t-shirts. From just logos all the way to different types of gods. Some of the newest ones are on the front page here underneath, along with Freya and Isis and Muzen Kab and Athena. So please make sure you guys check it out. There is 11 pages of t-shirts, and this is a collaboration between myself, Hi-Rez Studios, and Child's Play. And as you can see in the title, 50% of all the proceeds, the sales proceeds, will go towards Child's Play. If you guys aren't familiar, Child's Play is a charity that puts video games and video game consoles directly in to children's hands that are in the hospital. So, children that are extended stays in the hospital do actually have an opportunity to get video games and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. Did you order one yet, Risty?
No. I haven't picked a favorite. I'd like to just get one, but I haven't really looked. Hang on, I've got a plastic bag right around my foot. When you look at stuff and you're like, which one do I get? And then you can't really pin down. I'll pick one. I will get one at some point, and I'll wear it here, and then I'll put right. OCTANEPRO at the top of it. Or
That's
something
right.
Like that.
I have 4 of them. I bought 4 of them. They're in the wash right now, and then I bought 4, but then I designed 20 more, and I was like, oh, I really like those. The Guan Yu one's really sweet. The Freya one's a lot of fun. I like the Hercules one too. So there's some pretty cool ones on there. Let's go ahead and jump into our second point here, and I'll throw it off to Risty, and we'll go from there.
Right, we got the the 100K revealed. I think that was where we was just at. I was messing around.
Yep.
Yeah, the 100K tournament revealed, and the way Hi-Rez doing this, Alan, is actually quite a good. I like how they're doing this. It's like a proper pathway up to the 100K. So like we know we've got the announcement that's come out and everything like that.
Yep.
So when we actually get there, and it's all the way up every week, right all the way up till March. Well, sort of up to March, up to the end of February, and then it takes us into March where the brackets are out. So they've actually done some really nice work about this. Shame I can only find it on this one specific part. I don't think I can find it on the esports website, which is one of my little gripes that Hi-Rez have. They put it in one announcement, and then I literally favorited this page because I knew I wouldn't find it again.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting. Somebody made a post on Reddit regarding.
I saw that. Yeah.
Some of Hi-Rez's lack of marketing, and you know, it was kind of interesting. I won't go into full details on it, but people were just kind of like, "Why is it that we can't find anything about Smite or Hi-Rez or $100,000 tournament anywhere but like Hi-Rez's website? Like, why are we not branching off into other websites? Why do we not see it on other websites? You know, go ahead and pick a commercial spot on TV. Like, you know, let's spend some money in marketing." And so I was really surprised to see, you know, that the exact thing that you were talking about.
Do you like my new T-shirt?
What is that? Is that your T-shirt right there? Octane Pro for the win.
See, custom made. That'll do. I love this now. I can mess around with it totally. It's great.
That is okay. I will have to admit the green screen is kind of cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It. I'm enjoying myself.
So, anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and throw it up on screen. Kind of the $100,000 tournament. Lots of stuff going on with this. You know, we are seeing over the next few weeks. As you can see, we're on week 2. So if we're looking at this wonderful little, you know, pathway chart that they have gone ahead and put together, we will go ahead and see that, you know, we are on week number 2. And so, you know, that was completed today. And now we're moving into week number 3. So pretty much all the weeks go ahead and calculate up. And then they go ahead and merge into the $100,000 tournament. In the meantime, you know, if you guys are going ahead and looking at a calendar, so the 25th is a Tuesday, the game releases. And then on the 28th is when this tournament actually starts. And some cool stuff about it is it's being held at the W in Atlanta, and this hotel is amazing, to let you know. Like, we're on the website right now. I'm showing it to you guys right now. It's a really, really cool website. You know, they have some badass rooms in it, like the way it's designed and everything like that. And I actually went ahead and looked at some of the cost for the hotel. It's like, no lie, it's like $285 a night to stay at the W. Yeah, to stay, and that's US, to stay at the W. So, you know, I'm going to the $100,000 tournament, thankfully, and
go on. You're gonna stay there. You're gonna stay in that one.
No, not at all.
Do it. Get the penthouse. Go on. Get the penthouse. I want the pro house.
That's like $500 a night. So I
just
looked.
bill it to Hi-Rez.
I'm staying right. I'm staying two blocks down, actually at a Marriott, which is like $170 a night. Which isn't too much. I mean, it's $100 less, but still. So I'm actually in the process of trying to secure a roommate for the event. You know, and you know, check, you know, in order to cut that cost, because I mean, that's like $600 because I'm flying in on a Friday and I'm staying till Monday because.
How much is the flight costing?
For me, it costs $300, and it's because I'm flying from Baltimore, Maryland, down to Atlanta.
How far is that?
It's all the way down the eastern seaboard.
What's like how long is the flight?
Oh, the flight is like 2.5 hours, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Jesus, I can get like a 4-hour flight over here for like £200.
Wow. Yeah. It's, I mean, and in all honesty, that was cheap because I started to look at a whole bunch of tickets, and I'm flying out of Baltimore on a Friday, like early in the morning, like a 6 or 7 o'clock flight, and I'm flying in directly there. And I looked at other cities like Philly or you know, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and they were like $400 round trip, even more. So, so yeah, flying in on a Friday, and they have some events going on Friday. If we scroll down, taking a look at what we're looking at here, you can see, you know, there is some things that will be going on Friday, and then Saturday, and also on Sunday. Some cool stuff to actually take a look at is, if you go ahead and look at the tickets sold out in like 2 hours. Now, granted, there was only 200 tickets for sale. And it kind of got me concerned because I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, there's only 200 tickets for sale. This is going to be a real small venue. And I kind of be surprised for Hi-Rez Studios if, you know, they decided to do an event with only 200 people, especially a launch event. You know what I mean, Risty?
Yeah. It was. I kind of as soon as I heard the number 200, I went, Is that it? Really? I want, especially seeing as it's sold out in 2 hours. Kind of,
Yeah,
then you have to
yeah.
sit there and go, we should have got a bigger place.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because I saw some arguments regarding people like, hey, they didn't advertise this much, but then I saw other people being like, they don't need to. Like, the people that are going already have tickets and stuff. And then I saw some other arguments where, like, people had said the way that Hi-Rez worded it, there's only 200 tickets for sale for now. So I'm interested to see, like, if they do, like, 200 tickets per week. I
Yeah,
don't
but
really
that's
know.
just silly. If
Yeah.
you've got tickets for
Yeah.
the venue, you might as
Yeah.
well just throw them out there because a lot of people that will go out immediately and then see, oh crap, the 200 tickets have already gone, then won't look again. But if
Yeah.
the venue can hold this bigger capacity, you might as well. But then again,
Yeah.
how many people are you going to get in one room?
Exactly, but I mean,
We'll see.
200 is not that much, and so it's not going to be this huge live event that we're expecting. So, I mean, if I was to put a number on it, I would really like to see them do like 1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a really good number. I think 1,000 people would allow you to fill that crowd as well. But we'll have to see. I mean, I haven't seen like the facility or anything like that yet. But anyways, I'm flying down Friday morning, and I'm staying till Monday night. So I'm gonna try to, it'll be a good time. But if anyone's going down, please make sure that you guys do approach me, say hello, introduce yourselves. I will be down there, yeah, should be a lot of fun. So moving on from the $100,000 tournament. Last thing I want to point out is the prize pool. The prize pool first place is actually 48% of that 100,000. Second place is 24%. Third place is 14%. Fourth place is 6%. And finally, fifth through eighth place is 2%. And something interesting I found out, I was listening on the stream the other day. I guess they're going to be releasing another skin in the next few weeks. And I think it's like 50% of all the skin proceeds will go towards the prize pool. So they're kind of pulling a number from
Dota 2, that book of I know what you're on about. I know the name.
Correct.
Oh, it's
Usually
that big long C word.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
I don't know, it's like Coliseum or something like that, or whatever it is. But
Palindrome or something like that.
yeah, but anyways, they're pulling it, and I think it's a great idea. I think they definitely should. I mean, if they want to increase the prize pool, that is a great way to do it. And so all skin sales, and I personally feel like they should have done the Anubis skin and then whatever the next skin is they're releasing, because I feel like everybody bought the Anubis skin.
I got it.
I know. Everybody I talked to bought the Anubis skin, and I want to be like, why didn't you guys just do that and the next skin and increase that prize pool? Because I feel like everybody bought it. Oh, you know what? I'm really interested to see what the next skin is because it better be something ridiculously good if they're going to be filtering it into the $100,000 prize pool coming up in the next few weeks.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
That's right.
Well, they've got loads of ideas. Like someone said, as soon as they put that Anubis skin out, they just went, right, there's one down, and then they showed off the rest of the skins and put like a big cross through the Anubis one and was like, right, we're going to get them all eventually. It's just which one they wanted first.
Exactly. So moving on, I'll let Risty take the next one.
Now we got, we on Spoils now? Spoils, yes, we are on the Spoils. Sorry, I was just updating something. Okay, so yeah, Erez has been spoiling a little bit more. Something about Hebo's head being a little bit too small. So they're going to fix that. I didn't see anything too wrong about that one. Now, one thing I did see, that's the big one here. More gods are getting their blue on the gold skins changed with the Sun Wukong's color, which is a different shade of blue and not so in your face. Now, as soon as I saw it, I went, everyone wants that. Literally, even I went, they've just made a run for... I reckon they did that on purpose just to check what people wanted. It wasn't a mistake. It was like, right, people don't really like the blue or the gold too much. Let's just change the blue a little bit, see what happens. Not say anything and just put it out.
The new blue is awesome.
Yeah, it looks so good. I do like it as well.
Yep.
Everybody I know of prefers that blue to the one that we've got. So it's kind of funny because they made all these gold skins and now they're going to have to go back and change the blue.
Yeah, but thankfully it's just like a blue color, like just swapping a color one for another. One would think, but probably the designers are listening to this going, you have no idea.
I reckon it is just select, like get that oil, the drop on there and go, drink, change the color. There we go, done. That'll do. Yep. It's almost like in paint, you get the old like paint can and just go over it.
That's right. That's right. Simple and easy.
Pretty much. New God's gonna have a cool shield. So the Geb apparently is gonna have a shield that you can use on himself or other players. So
that's kind of cool.
I'm thinking World of Warcraft priest power word shield, where you'd throw a shield on yourself. That's kind of where I'm thinking. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but just absorb damage or maybe absorb. What would be cool if you could throw it out and it absorbs one ability effect, like one,
Sure.
like at the whole damage. So
Almost
not
like
basic.
almost like a Magi's Blessing per se.
Yeah, but for abilities,
Yeah.
all the damage from one ability. So like you get the Spirit Tempest co out, bang, he throws it out on someone. And it's like a free Aegis. So that'd be kind of interesting to see what they do. New patch will have 2 more arena maps. We'll have 2 arena maps, and you randomly play one, or you get one randomly when you play.
Yeah, what do you
I'd like
think
to
of
see
that?
this for I think that's kind of cool. I think a lot of people have been asking for new conquest new maps as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they change up the conquest map. Give us a couple of ones.
I'm
I
really
know.
surprised that they're investing the time into another arena map when, like, I feel like 3 vs 3 needs its own independent map.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I
Oh
have
yeah, I
heard,
was thinking that.
I thought I have heard rumors that they're going to be coming out with an independent 3 vs 3 map, but I'm just really surprised that they would come out with a second arena map that's going to rotate depending on like when you join in. You know, I feel like there's other maps need a little bit more work compared to just having a second arena map. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm totally with you on that one as well. So it's just a little bit like that. It's just some other random stuff and the fact that DM doesn't actually own a tie. So that's about it.
That's right. That's
So that
right.
was Erez Spoils there for the week. I think there was some more of them, but I couldn't quite find the other older posts a bit further on. That's the problem sometimes with Erez Spoils. After like a few hours, it does disappear, even though it does get voted for a while. Just like you go back to it and you can't find it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
happens.
Moving on from there, guys, we kind of jump into our esports update part of the show. You know, as you guys are familiar with, you know, we do have the $100,000 tournament that we did talk about. Week 1 was last week, and week 2 just finished up earlier today. So for week 2, the winners this week, which was yesterday on Saturday, we did have Cognitive Gaming NA taking first, Team Dignitas second, Snipe-NA third, and Clash and Slash fourth. Now, today was pretty cool. We've started to see, and I think it's exciting how, like, the European scene is getting more attention than the North American scene, and it's not, like, because one's favored over the other, but because we're seeing a better competition in the European scene right now. First place, Team Solo Mid, which last week was Cloud9 taking first. Second place this week, Cloud9. Third is Team Q, which is previously Mortality Esports. And fourth is Torch, which is a new team that did get picked up by a sponsor. So, you know, those of you guys that watched, like, game 1 today with Team Solo Mid versus Cloud9 was like an hour-long game. And just this competition between Team Solo Mid and Cloud9 has been ridiculous. And I can't wait, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just saying right now, top 3 teams at the 100K, Team Solo Mid, Cloud9, and Cognitive Gaming NA, which is ridiculous because if let's say Risty and I go back, like, I don't know, 3 months ago, we would have said Team Dignitas 100%. But what do you think now, Risty, with Team Dignitas versus these other top 3 teams?
I honestly don't. Do you know what? I don't know, and it's not for a reason that I couldn't put a team. It's the teams have changed so much. I don't know who's playing on what team anymore.
Everybody
I
got
think-
no. Now keep in mind, everybody had to get into their team and locked in their team before
Yeah.
the first week of the 100K. So like, we're not going to see team, you know, swapping around and
Team
jump
changes
stuff like
now.
that. Now, granted, teams are allowed to be able to pick up sponsors and change their name. Hence, by Torch, I think it was Evolution before. You know, so they can do that now, but
But they've got to be locked
players
in the
cannot move teams. Like, you cannot move teams at all.
I like that rule.
Yep.
I do like that. The fact that they're locking players in. It stops people just dancing around. Oh, crap, you're going to go to the 100K? I'm going to
Yeah.
jump on your team and take someone else's place. So, no.
Correct.
It was definitely a very interesting watch. Anyway, I was watching quite a bit of it today. I even had the girlfriend watching it. So you enjoyed that,
that's
didn't
good.
you?
That's good.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was funny because I was watching it today. I woke up with a fever this morning and was sick, and so I took like a 3-hour nap down here, but it was kind of like intermittent. So I kept waking up between like different games and watching a little bit, and then passing out and falling back asleep. And I did watch the grand finals though, and it was pretty ridiculous. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, there is a lot. I definitely in the EU side. I very rarely watch the NA side, but I do watch it from here and there. But the EU side, there's a lot of stuff where the casters are going, how the hell did he just pull that off? Even DMs going, how?
I did
How
hear
do
that
you
today.
make a god do that? Yeah.
I will
was
say,
like-
in all honesty, I've been watching more of the EU versus the NA recently. Because EU has been much more exciting. The competition is a lot more fun. So I've been enjoying it. I will say. I mean, not that, you know, we should have an EU tournament anytime soon, but, you know, a LAN tournament. But just saying. I know you guys over in the EU are dying for a LAN tournament. Because the last one I think you guys have was what was it?
Gamescom, wasn't it?
Gamescom, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
To
they
be
did
honest,
have a
we
10
won-
cent tournament. They did the 10-cent kind of event in Shanghai, but that's not exactly the same either.
Do you know what I want more?
What's
An
that?
NA versus EU tournament.
Oh, well, you'll have that at the 100K
That's what I
tournament.
want at the 100K. I can't wait because
Oh.
it's literally like you even a lot. Even you say it's like the EU's come out with some really freaky stuff. Like NA is very not set in its ways. It's very good on what they do. They're very good at.
Oh, sure.
This is how we play. And the EU are just like, here's a spanner. Have that. See you
Oh,
at
yeah,
that
the
time.
EU scene has been very creative in regards to like coming out with new builds, coming out with new god rotations, coming out with different lane compositions, stuff like that. So I do hand it to the EU scene for being a little bit more creative than the NA scene. I mean, as you said, the NA
Both
scene
have
is...
their own stuff. I just have to kind of like be the diplomat there. Both have their own stuff, but the EU do pull off some. Yeah, NA come up with some good stuff, and then the EU goes, "Wow, let's try this one." Go on.
Sure.
You
Sure.
wanna- so no.
Sure, definitely. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our patch notes for this week. Did you have a chance to gut these at all?
I've taken out a lot of crap.
Okay, there is a ton. So guys, we're gonna skim through a lot of these because the patch notes this week was huge. So we're kind of just gonna highlight a little bit here and there. We may skip around a little bit, so bear with us. Jumping into the new skins for this week, we did have the Anubis Stargazer, and I'll go ahead and swap up on screen for that. This one is pretty sweet.
I like it.
We were just talking about how both of us actually own this skin. And really, really like it. It's funny because it's called the Stargazer Anubis, but we all know it's based off of the Stargate series.
Stargate. Yeah. I was like, can I put Ra, like the all-seeing eye above his head or something like that, and just go, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
We know exactly what it is, but yeah, it does look cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Even the changes to, some of his abilities all of his abilities are adjusted for this skin as well. So we do see that reflected.
They do need to do one thing to it though.
What's that?
In League, it's not so bad. In casuals, where there can be more than one, you don't know which Anubis skill is your own team. It's very difficult.
I would
to
like to see them swap out the blue and then make it red.
Like they do with the gold skin.
Like as you can see on him, like he has like his scepter has that blue look to it. The gems on him are blue. If he is on the red team, I like to see them red, and all of his abilities reflect red. So it's like blue and red.
Yeah.
I think
that
that'd
way
be cool.
you can tell a bit better. Yeah.
Sure. We also saw Sun Wukong here get his gold skin as well. So this is kind of the look that we were talking about at the top of the show regarding a different blue color. It's not necessarily super bright. It is, here's the Sun Wukong and the new look of Sun Wukong. And let's go to someone else here. Let's see who else. Let's go to like the Ymir gold skin. So let's pop up Ymir and go to the Ymir gold skin. And as you can see, the Ymir gold skin, a little bit brighter of a blue. Another really, really good one to look at is... Where's Bacchus?
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bacchus. Bacchus's gold skin definitely shows it off the most of kind of the old... See how bright that blue is on Bacchus? So there's Bacchus. Okay, and I'll swap back to Sun Wukong real quick again. Bright blue there, and then swap to the blue of Sun Wukong. You can see it's darker, it's a cleaner look to it, more metallic looking. So that was kind of the new Sun Wukong skin in this past patch.
Yeah, looks great. Like I say, I like the Stargazer stuff and the blue. New NPCs in the Conquest map as well. We have the Minotaur was removed. Goodbye, Minotaur.
No.
He's gone off to see the Manticore and
Yep.
just crawl off there. We should have like a little graveyard somewhere, like elephant graveyard that we send places stuff to go. It'd be quite funny.
For all the ones that have moved on to a bigger and better place in the world.
I love how the patch notes word it. The Minotaur has been replaced on all maps and has joined the Manticore on the doll. Thank you very much. Job sent.
That's right.
Yeah.
So on the screen
money.
On the screen, I have both of the new Minotaurs, as you kind of You know, the orange one is the Titan of Chaos. Kind of this, I don't know, it reminds me of like something from hell, like just this badass guy. You know, and he is.
I want to be the invader side. I always think he looks the best.
Oh yeah, right, right.
He looks bad. I literally see him with the axes, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool.
Sure, sure. The other side we have the Titans of Order, which is kind of these two sisters, one-legged two sisters that held this scepter, that they're kind of chained together. Kind of their eyes are covered per se. I still think it's really cool. You know, it's really cool
It's like a very like Gemini sort of thing, like the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's neat to stand next to them because like the graphics are a complete overhaul compared to what the Minotaur is.
It's definitely like a big step up, isn't it? It looks good. But no, yeah. So other than that, we go into the general one. The new god rotation is a Muzenkab, Bacchus, Fenrir, Odin, and Poseidon. So that's a good one for you lot.
Yep.
The default camera behind the player is now restricts the pitch of the camera to give you a maximum visibility on the battlefield while using your abilities. So you know when you try and do like max range abilities, it kind of lowers you down and you can't see quite everything's going.
Yeah.
It helps with that one. It'll lock it up in the air and actually do it. I haven't actually tried it. I looked for it on the last setting. I swear it was in before. And they've changed it a little bit now, so
well,
I
haven't tried it either. I turned it off right away because I saw people complain about it. But I do have to turn. I guess one of the new like policies on Smite game when streaming is you need to have that on to advertise it. So I will be playing with it today, later on tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
There you go. Give it a go. Yeah. They've changed the main menu UI, match lobby, and in-match scoreboard a bit. Had a little overhaul on that. There was at first I went, I'm not sure. It looked like the red and blue bars were out of place, but now it's grown on me a bit. I kind of like it. But the first change, I was like, was it? It's some of these changes that they do. They go, was it really a problem in the first place?
Yeah.
That was all. That's all I'm ever like.
Well,
okay.
the question there is, was it necessary to change right now?
Yeah.
And I guess I'll go into it now. There has been a boatload of server issues going on right now. Way too many for launching the game in like 3 months. And don't get me wrong, guys. I love Smite. I love Hi-Rez. You know, I talk to these guys every day. But they need to do something about their servers ASAP. And in all honesty, shut down your game for like 3 days and get it fixed. I think the community will be in an uproar, but I think they'll understand long term. Because right now it's to the point where like we go ahead and watch a professional, you know, type of setting today where you're trying to advertise the game and you could barely watch it. You know, in regards to the servers are going into stasis mode, or throughout the week the servers go down, and it's just like, why are we having these issues when we're 3 months out from launching the game? Because I don't know, Risty, if you remember or not, but I feel like we haven't run into such server issues the entire time in beta till now.
No, it's
like I don't remember having these problems at all. Like, and I feel like things have, not granted from time to time they take servers down, stuff like that, but it's been planned maintenance and stuff, and we understand it. But you know, it's getting to the point where it's getting really bad, where people are lagging in game and stuff like that. Just happened a few weeks ago, where we just get this absurd lag and stuff like that. And I don't know.
You getting much on the NA side?
Not as much right now, but like go back like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it was a disaster. Like all of a sudden, it was a disaster. Like I'd be in the middle of a game, and it would be like ting 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 ting.
Yeah,
and I'd be moving around, and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, sorry, just
so it's not just
mic.
your side then.
No,
we were getting that. Like it's sometimes it's okay. You could play with a higher ping, but the rubber banding effect. Like there was one game that I don't know how we did it. That literally you fire your skill.
Yep.
And all you would have to do is keep the marker where you wanted it to land for a good 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous sometimes. And then sometimes I even did that, run all the way back to base, and my skill hadn't even fired.
Yeah. Well, somebody in chat says, you know, it's due to like the new players. Elite Bandit in chat says, oh, it's due to new players. Well, I haven't seen anything to qualify that and say that. Like, we don't have a counter in game, which would be really cool to have when you log into the game. It tells you like total accounts
created.
Not
even at capacity, they've been telling us. So
well,
it can't be that.
Correct. Something cool though to have in game would be a counter at the top that says how many accounts created, how many accounts are currently online. That would be kind of cool to see. But we haven't, like, there hasn't been an announcement from Hi-Rez. It's been like, oh guys, you know, please understand, you know, our servers are getting overloaded because of the fact of, you know, a lot of new players. You know, somebody also in chat talks about like a DDoSing issue. Now, I did read about that some time ago. That was never completely qualified or
They'll never confirm that.
Hi-Rez never confirmed that was actually occurring. Kind of the rumor on the street per se was that there was some DDoSing issues occurring the same time as like the Steam store was having problems and some other stores, online stores having problems too. So just my little rant on the servers. I just feel like, that is so important right now. Like you can't be pushing this game and pushing the 100K tournament and, trying to prep people for this huge LAN tournament when your servers are not stable at all. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Continue on, Risty.
No, it was there's definitely fine with that. We was getting big problems. They've actually removed League for the moment because the problems, and that was I still feel actually they removed League, but it was so late. Like it was like 3 or 4 days of horrendous. At minimum, it was horrendous pings. Like you'd get just caught off, and I'm glad they've taken it off. I feel they could have done it a bit quicker though.
So how do you feel not having League? You must be like going crazy.
I don't play now. I finished the last couple of mastery levels, so I am max master. I've got my max mastery level up to 47 now.
Okay.
And I don't touch it now. I come in to do the first few wins today just because I was bored and I haven't touched it. So I was like, nah. They have changed. Conquest League matches now have 2 bans, which thank God for that. That's actually a godsend. Because it was just Mercury and Zeus bans all the time. Now we're getting Sobek bans, Kali bans, and it's great. It just feels good. It just kind of, it's eased up a bit on all the lanes because if you really hate somebody, you can just kind of ban them out. So it's good. Thing is, they have changed though. The mastery levels up to 14 to participate in the league. I also sent this as a tweet out to was it Hi-Rez Chris the Mogan
Okay, sure.
I went instead of doing 14. Get mastery level 14. Do 3 in each role. It might be a bit harder to code, but I'd much prefer someone to have 3 gods in each role. It's only 5, so it works out about 15.
Yeah,
but
I like
that would be
idea.
much better off.
I like that idea because it forces people to play different gods in different roles. And the reason I say it is like earlier today, this morning, when I played a game is I jumped into a game and a gentleman was playing Agni. Well, right off the back, when you think Agni, you think, okay, mid lane. Well, no, he was like, I want to go. He's like, I'm going support dual lane, and I kind of said to him, I said, that's perfectly okay. I said, just keep in mind, moving forward, I'd recommend playing a little bit of every god because he's like, all I could do is play support, and it's like, don't play a game like this and limit yourself to a certain set of gods. You should really play a little bit of everything. Reason being is because, one, you may jump into a match and, in order to make the best combination for your team, you may have to play a god that you don't play every day. Just because you play this god the most and you're like, I'm awesome at Agni, I want to play Agni, keep in mind that might not work the best for your team comp. So like I kind of recommended, moving forward, try to play as many gods as you can. Not only does it work great for like your team comp, but also it's really helpful for things like as a player, growing as a player, because you learn every god, it allows you to play a little bit of everything. So just kind of something interesting about that.
Yeah, definitely moving on. The normal 1v1 queue for Joust was actually removed when they put in 1v1 League.
Yes.
Now, I still think they put in the 1v1 League, but they didn't fix the Kali problem. So, and people like the first few days didn't ban out Kali. Yes. And it was like, what are you doing? I even went in, I've only played 1 match, and I went in, got like 0-5 against this Artemis at the start. Yeah. And then eventually when I got a few more items on, it was like, I got 2 kills and that was it. It was steamrolled from there. She couldn't do nothing against me. It was mad. But no, there's a few gods that shouldn't be in like a 1v1, which should be banned and that sort. But it's nice to see, and I can see why they removed the normal queue just because of the player pool. It just gives you a bit more. And if you're gonna play 1v1, you might as well do League.
So I did a night of like 1v1 and I did terrible. I was like, yes, 1v1 is not for me. I usually like to play dual lane type of stuff, and that's where I do best.
You like to be carried.
I want to put it that way. I mean, usually, it's kind of interesting because I either play support or I play like an AD. It's weird. I have like a few set of gods that I'm really, really good at, and they're all over the place. Like Ymir, Artemis, Agni, Anubis. Like they're all over the place. You have like a mid lane, you have a support, you have an AD, you have an AP, and so like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't allow you to focus more. Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump on the next one here. Kind of a big one that people were talking about in chat was domination being removed here. Domination is removed from the normal town. The match of the day will now frequently feature this mode. And they do say that they're going to go ahead and reevaluate it. What are your thoughts on them removing this?
There's probably a definite reason why they removed it, just because, like, obviously games played probably. So they must have just thought it's good. They're reducing some of the queues down. Fair enough. They've added the joust one. They took out the normal one, and they're trying to get more people funneled into fewer queues, which I kind of think is a good thing, because then you get more players to pick from. Domination was pretty low one. I almost never played it. Like once in a blue moon, I'd play it, and that's bad.
Dude,
it's a fun
never
mode.
play it. Yeah, I never played it at all, and I mean, I know there's a lot of other people that do. There's a lot of people that are very heavy in like arena and domination stuff like that, and kind of sucks for them. But yeah, I mean, I guess they were finding that they just didn't have the amount of population, a lot of people playing that stuff like that. So that was a real shame. Moving on from there.
But match of the day's fine though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's a good place to put it. Now, something I added, if you leave your base and have no items, you get like a little message that pops up. I think it's a good idea, especially for new players.
I had this once. I don't know who I was talking to at the time, and I started walking, and I went...
Were you streaming?
I was streaming. I was talking to someone on TeamSpeak, and then I come back and went, go back for jungle items. That would help.
Yeah,
I still think they need to make the buying restriction area a bit bigger, because the well itself... You take two steps forward. You know when you buy your items, walk forward, realise, oh crap, I bought the wrong one. But you've already taken 2 steps.
Yeah.
And you can't sell it back. I think they should have the whole main base as like the sellback area. Until you leave the Minotaur zone.
The only downside is if you do that, then you can kind of defend the Minotaur and still have full health. You know what I mean?
No, I don't mean make the well the healing
just
bit.
the buy
I
zone.
mean,
You just mean the buy zone. Okay.
Area. Yeah.
I don't see how that would be a problem. I don't know. We'd have to see.
I've seen it a few times. I've only had it like once now, because I'm always like, have I got it? Double check it. I've got plenty of time. Just keep looking. Yeah. And I've also set up favorites tab, so I'm all good.
Exactly. Moving on from there, we did have some colorblind corrections that were made to the game. So if you guys are one of those sad few that is colorblind, they did make some adjustments to make it a little bit easier for you.
Have you ever tried to play in yellow and blue?
I have. It's a disaster.
Freaky.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't know who I'm looking at. I'm like, who are you?
Yes, agreed.
I'm so conditioned. Red and blue, done.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I want. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. They fixed they fixed an issue where several gods, but basic fire basic attacks were were going at a slightly different rate than intended. And the gods that were affected were actually quite surprising. I was like, all right, this will be range gods. Most of them are melee. Melee or whatever it is. So you've got Athena, Guan Yu, Hercules, Humbats, Isis, Kali, Loki, etc., etc. So yeah, Shibalanke was the only ranged one in there that had a slightly different basic attack rate. So they've gone through and fixed that. The home screen widget for new users has been modified under level 5. That was a load of crap. I should have got rid of that. There was a few issues fixed with the store. Oh, do you know what? They've done this now. I don't like this.
What's that?
They give you they put a little green tick on items you've bought. Right. I don't know
like
about
the check mark.
database,
Yeah, like the check mark.
but I think, come on, seriously, I know I bought it. Yeah. I don't need to have a little. I just think it's one of them ones that I'm not an idiot sort of thing. Please don't treat me like one. It's just kind of there. I just.
Yeah, but you have to remember as a new player. I mean, I guess.
I know it's a new player, but I'm sitting there going, you're going to work it out eventually. And then it just looks to me, it stares me in the face and going, you know you've got this one, yeah? You know? Yeah. Do you need me to tell you you've got this one? Yeah, okay. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I know how to do it. So I wish I could turn that off. But it just, I don't know. It's just me. I'm just picky.
Sure. Guys, moving in, we're going to move into the item section now a little bit here. And we have a few items that we'll go into. We don't have to go into all the details on them. So Teleport has gone ahead, and we're not talking about the consumable. We're talking about the active item. Has gone ahead and kind of done a pretty cool transition. You could go ahead and teleport to towers. You could do a shielded teleport to gods, which I'm kind of interested. I mean, I like the teleport to god type of idea, but to me, it's like that's the whole purpose of Athena, like to teleport to god. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it once,
Yeah.
and you don't even know it's incoming. It doesn't give you any signals like a
Oh, so
ward
bing, you
does.
just
It
hear
goes,
like shing. That's all you hear.
yeah, but the funny thing was, somebody did that in a team, and Anubis did this in a team fight
And died.
as his team was backing, or
Oh,
as an
jeez.
AO or something like that, and we literally just saw him appear, and he was like, "Oh crap!" We just like just collapsed on him. It was like, yeah, I don't think you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I mean, I find
it's
myself,
something I
doing
wouldn't have.
doing a lot of like the teleportation towards the ward, because as I play like a Ymir as a support, I'm always putting down the wards available for the teleportation, which works out well. But it's just another option. I think it's kind of cool.
It's. I think it'll take a little while before it'll actually get utilized because teleport to ward is half the time. So you might as well just with
Yes.
everybody as like ward coverage, and it's safer. Teleport to God requires, I'd say, a bit more communication
Yes.
because not you know in like lanes you can be looking at a God, but it won't show up on the minimap. So you don't know when you're teleporting in what's going to be there, or you need
Correct.
a specific reason. So I think teleport to ward will still be there. I don't think they'll be using too many. I've only seen it once in like the whole time it's been here, and I've been playing a lot of games. So that's that. Aegis fixed a bug. Actually, this is affecting quite a lot of abilities, which probably we'll go through a bit later on. But Aegis Amulet fixed a bug which allowed Aegis to interrupt certain abilities without charging cooldowns, like Erez' ultimate, for instance. You could do that, hit your Aegis, make everyone blow all their beads and Aegis and everything, and then go in and do it again.
Yes,
So,
that was oh my gosh, when I used to play when I would play arena with like team with like viewers, they'd be like, "Oh, use the bug." And I never did, but I definitely saw people doing it, and I'm very happy that they fixed this.
yeah, just that. I never used it as well. It was always like I should use it, but I never really played anything that kind of did it. I was like, ah,
Yeah,
well.
you'd really only
Um,
see it, I feel like, in arena.
yeah. Blink and Shell had Shell not really because that got changed.
Yeah.
Oh no, it got removed, didn't it? Blink and Shell apparently had updated ground targeters, so that's all
Hmm.
gone. Spirit of Heaven. This is an interesting one. They've changed the duration of the rank, so they've increased its sprint up from 3 to 5 to 4 to 6,
Yeah.
but they reduced the cost by 100 gold at each level. So it's
They're
now
just
only
trying to.
600 for
Yeah,
max.
they're just trying to have the item used a little bit more now because we like
It
barely
was
see it
used by
used.
every AD as it was. It was
Yeah.
pretty much always. I think it's more it gets picked up earlier. Like I'll pick it up earlier now just for the sake of it. Because to be honest, rank 1 and 2, pretty much it was alright, but you just wanted to get to rank 3 just so you could chase people down.
Yeah.
A carrier rank 3 is pretty funny. Um, Other than that, no, it was just an interesting one they've changed. And I can see the Girdlemite one. Girdlemite, Girdle of Sport, Girdle of Inner Strength.
Yep.
They changed that one because I almost never picked that up. Pretty much never. No.
Yeah.
Um,
How about the next one? I'm surprised there.
Shard. Yeah, like I said, Shard. Oh no, Shell. Okay, yeah, Shard removed. So that was the one that was healing. Yeah.
I'm really surprised that
Um,
that's like the second time they removed it from the game.
I don't know why they would remove it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the grounds they would remove that on. So I don't know. The next one kind of wound me up a little bit. Just kind of a little bit. The Sentry Ward stack limit changed from 3 to 1. So I really hate being restricted in a game of what you can do. It's like
Oh,
okay.
with the items, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get given gold. Okay, I earn gold in the game. If I want to blow it all on wards and plaster the whole minimap, that is my decision because I'm then not putting that gold into items.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't know where they're going with this. I think they think the warding issue is a problem. Like too many sentry wards are out. After a certain point in the game, you are just spamming out sentry wards constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of reducing the stack, increase the gold. Increase the cost.
That's true.
That's better. I just
Yeah.
feel like if you won't let me buy them, I get annoyed. Like I can
Yeah.
buy one, and I'm like, well, I want to buy two or something else. So if I'm, it also leaves you in that position, right? You've got one sentry ward. You bung it down, clear someone else's ward, and then they bung one down after you. Now I have to go back, pick up another ward before I can counter that one again.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
really
Yeah, I can
frustrating.
understand that. Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and also they changed the fact. You know, the maximum 3 wards are out.
Yes.
You can only have one sentry ward out.
Oh, that's
It
kind of
doesn't.
goofy.
You can't have 2 sentry wards. You can't even go back and buy another one. So that's
Hmm.
another one. Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
Hard Seeker's movement speed was reduced, so that's a slight nerf, 2%. Well, no, 4%, 7%, and 10% to 4, 6, and 8. So
Yeah.
2% at the top end. It's a slight nerf. It wasn't nothing major. I kind of looked at that and went, okay, I can understand that. Chin size and Chin's blades, they got obliterated.
I'm kind of upset about that because I used to always buy them on her. And it kind of
To be
sucks.
honest,
Yeah.
you well with the change, you still technically want them.
Yeah.
You just get Devourer's gloves now. So
Well,
Devourer's gloves
yes.
get
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. You
But
buy Devour.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. So instead of getting Heartseeker chin size, you got Devourer's gloves chin size, which also makes the ADs a bit more safer to play because they don't lose their stacks and they're not going to chase you down really early on with that extra 10 movement speed. So it's kind of it's good in some respects, that one.
Yeah.
Jotun's Wrath had a little nerf. The thing with Chin Sides, though, they've still got all the damage. They just haven't got the life still. So the damage that they were putting out, which was obscene anyway, they're still doing quite well in that respect. But yeah, Jotun's Wrath, they just reduced some of the penetration. I don't know why they thought they'd bring down the penetration. I think maybe they just wanted to make people. I don't know. It used to be like everything was in evens of fives and tens and stuff like that. So you could quite easily go, if I buy this item and this item, I get capped or I get to a certain point where I want to be. Now it's 11. I'm kind of like So you lose 4 pens somewhere in the math if you do
Yeah.
it. It's not much, but it's like, did you really have to? Come on.
Oh yeah. No, I
Nothing
agree.
else. Okay. Ethereal stuff. They reduced the cost of this just a little bit. So it's like about 100 across the board. Yeah, about 100, 150 across the board.
Do you see the ethereal staff being used as often though? Like
No.
I just don't see it.
I never saw it.
Yeah, I know
That's
exactly.
probably why they've reduced the cost.
Yes,
But
my exact
I
point.
reckon we could do a bit more. But no, I never saw it. No. Same with like the beat stick as well. I never saw that got picked up. So they've reduced the cost of that and increased the health bonus, which could be good in some respects. But you only ever got that if you was up against the proper like. Even healers, you don't pick it up against. I rarely see them get picked up anyway. Like if you get like an Aphrodite or a Hell, maybe if it's like proper heavy heal comp that you might do. But a lot of people just go, weakening curse. That'll do. It's done. One active, bang, knocked out.
Yeah.
So, Chronos Pendant increased the magical power on that one. I can't remember what the passive on Chronos Pendant was. What is it now? Mental block. But they've increased the magical power of that and decreased the cost by 90 gold.
Yeah.
60 gold at the start and 90 gold at the end. I'll have to double check what Chronos Pendant is.
I
They've
kind of like the
also-
changes. I can take the next two or next few.
Yeah, fine.
Frostbound
was-
Hammer, and also the pendant had a bonus health added to it, so was 325 max. Now it's up to 400. Kind of happy to see that. You don't really see that item as often as what we used to. Still a decent amount though, so kind of happy to see the additional health added to that. Sovereignty reduced bonus health. So I guess they were kind of looking to nerf this item at the top
It's
end.
still
450.
mandatory.
Yeah, top end 450 down to 400, and Sovereignty is definitely a really, really good item that you do see majority of your tanks do go ahead and pick up. Voidstone, Focus Voidstone, reduced magical power bonus from 50 at the top end down to 40. So I feel like Voidstone is an item that we see all the time, and I'm kind of surprised to see them nerf it a little bit. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they're nerfing it because they don't want to see it all the time. But the problem with that is it gives you power. The same,
Yeah.
you see it in here. We got Voidstone and Voidblade. They both got nerfed in their power.
Yes.
But it gives you power, defense, and penetration.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do. I'll take that. I don't care what it is.
So you
It's
feel like it
doing
was just
really,
doing
really
too
good
much?
stats. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
okay.
much what it was.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just that. And then Warlock
Sure.
Slash, the cost got reduced. I'm seeing that get picked up a few more times now. A lot more people are actually picking that up.
Yeah.
I don't know why, personally. It
Mhm.
might be just. I'd still stick with the standard builds. They're probably still better. But yeah, a lot of people picking up the Sash.
Mm-hmm.
AO only though.
Let's go ahead, guys, and move on to the God section of the patch here. We have a lot of changes to go through, so we're probably just going to skim over this a little bit faster than what we did there. Maybe skip a few here and there, depending on how important we feel they are to the game. So Erez, the shackles, they fixed an issue where 15% speed buff stack would only apply once, so they changed that up. The no escape now also triggers the cooldown, even if it interrupts before completing. And then finally, the additional stun duration for each enemy hit by this ability has been reduced from 0.3 to 0.2. So little changes there. We did see some changes.
It has an additional stun duration?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I am going to go look at the tooltip. That
Yes.
was I've never seen that before ever. I'm
Okay.
going to go. I don't remember it ever on the tooltip. I'm going to have a look. We'll carry on though.
All right, we did see a change to Artemis. Artemis was a little bit strong early game, so we did see them make a change to suppress the insolent. Damage reduced from 90 at the low end. It still stays 90 at the low end as well in the new change, but at the higher end, 350 and then 330. So a little bit of change there. Level 2, was 155, now it's 150. And then the mana cost was increased quite a bit. 60, now it's 70,
Yeah,
top end
it
80,
was-
now it's 90. So Artemis definitely is a very, very strong god, and early on in the game, very, very, very hurts a lot. We'll
It
put
was a
that
very
way.
strong poke. I know I've played up against a lot of Artemises, and after a while, like if she gets a few stacks, if you can't get in there and just harass the crap out of her,
Yeah.
she just sits back and hits you with these arrows constantly. Just hits you with the arrows, and you can't even engage. And if you do go in, you're just like, well, I'm already at half health before I've even started. So it's like, this ain't no fun.
Sure.
So yeah, it's good they've actually nerfed that. It needed a little bit of a kick.
Yep. Moving on from there, Athena, Defender of Olympus, can now use while crippled, which kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? To hear that a little bit more. She definitely needed that ability to do that. I mean, it is her ultimate, where a lot of people.
I think ultimate shouldn't be affected by cripple.
Oh yeah, no,
None
I
of 'em.
completely agree. I completely agree.
There's a lot of like stuff that I've seen that I'm like, really, why is that crippled? You're taking the mic, sort of stuff. And it's just sometimes cripples in the weirdest places sometimes.
Yeah.
So like, and the whirlpool for Poseidon, we'll give that, but we're not going to give it to Anubis.
Yeah.
It's just weird bits like that kind of I'd have a look at and go have a look. So
Sure. Al Quang, the tornado, fixed an issue with the deploy of the graphic where the ground circle was cutting out intermittently, or momentarily. I'm sorry. I actually noticed that like the tornado cast, and then you hear the audio a few seconds later, and I think that's what they're talking about there. They didn't mention anything about audio though. Did you notice that at all playing against Al Quang, or no? Was it something that stood out to you?
I might have done a little bit. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's one of them ones that you kind of every time you see it or go down, you'd like get out of the way, get out of the way. It wasn't something I kind of paid attention to. No. So after time I was always getting hit. But no, if the sound plays perfectly on time with it now, it'll actually be a bit better.
Yeah.
So you can get out. That helps.
Sure. Without a doubt there. Moving on with Chalk. Saw a whole bunch of changes with Chalk. Fix an issue where he wasn't affected, or the giant stone timer from Shablanke would not show up for him. That's definitely a needed fix. Reduce the radius, which this was for his first ability, Thunder Strike, from 25 to 20. And
I said this.
I'm so happy with this. So happy with it. What are your thoughts
I can
on
dodge it now.
Yes, right?
I can see it coming, and I'm like, oh, just strafe a little bit. If you're quick enough, you can dodge it. Before, you never had a chance.
Yeah.
It's amazing what 5 radius actually does, because you can actually get away. His silence still really kicks my ass. It's just like, oh, really? Unless you jump out of it or immune to it, it's just like, that is a long time to be silenced for.
Well, yeah, and I felt like
It's
every time I
enough.
laid against Chalk, I'd be like, all right, I'm far enough away. Bam, an axe would hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So I'm kind of happy that they made a little bit of a change there to the radius, because the radius was way too big. We also saw there was some update, let's see here. The torrent can no longer use when crippled, which makes sense because it'll help him get out. And there were a few other movement changes to that, along with cooldown reduction too, that were changes there. Rain Dance cooldown changed from 16 to 18 at all ranks. So there was a change there, causing not as often. I don't know if 2 seconds is enough. It might need to be bumped up to 5. I don't know. But yeah.
I never really have a problem with the rain dance. That's. I know a lot of people used to say like, right, okay, he's healing too much in this, that, and the other. It was
Yeah.
everything else that was the problem. I never had a problem with the rain. I probably just didn't see a problem with the rain. I never hung around him too much. Literally, I'd see Chuck and go, yeah, see you later. Unless there was
Yes.
2 or 3 of us, I wouldn't even bother going in.
Oh no, I actually agree. I mean, yeah. Moving on from there, also Storm Call now always triggers the cooldown, even if interrupted before completing. So we did see that change there. And I'll do the next 2 here. Fenrir has a new loading card skin, which is pretty cool.
You seen the
post-
little skip, the icon that you pick from?
Yes,
It looks
that's been
horrendous.
changed.
It looks horrible.
I
know
didn't
they've
think you
changed a lot
really
of
needed a
good ones.
change, to be honest with you.
No, I prefer the old one. I
Yeah.
don't like this one. Carry on.
Along with Fenrir, there were some quality of life changes, they're calling them, which is the post-hit delay reduced from 0.3 to 0.2. That's actually the time between, like, casting. Like, if you were to press one ability and then the next ability, when one ends and the other one begins, there was kind of a cooldown on that. Brutalize had the exact same thing, from 0.3 to 0.2. Nothing too crazy, but if you were to put them side by side and show it, you would definitely be able to see it. Finally, Freya, Valkyrie discretion has been changed so that you can place this within the walls, which makes sense. It's kind of a change that we have seen coming for a while on a lot of the gods.
Yeah. Moving on to Guan Yu, Warrior's Will. They did fix an issue where some of the victims could get hit multiple times. Kind of like Ra's Celestial Beam used to hit a couple of times as it goes along if you ran away from it.
Yeah.
So they fixed that problem. So it's kind of nerfed them a little bit and fixed an issue where enemies just outside the range of the dash could be falsely hit. So they've just kind of fixed problems that shouldn't have been there in the first place. So they've just done that. ISIS Funeral Rites got increased stacked activation radius. So they basically increased the radius of ISIS's ultimate. Did she need more help? No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
A good ISIS, you can't get near. I get
Yeah.
torn up by a good ISIS. It's like, right, stun. Then
Especially
she's got
mid. Especially mid.
Yeah, like a good ISIS player can tear you up, just anything, even just trying to catch them down. And then when they throw down the ultimate, it's like, yeah, we can't even get to you now. Which you just, unless you're ranged, and even then you don't want to attack in because it's just going to heal her back up once you've done it anyway, unless you can like blow her up in 2 hits. But other than that, it's all right. So yeah, I don't see why that was actually needed at all. Maybe they just kind of wanted to piss around with it a little
Somebody
bit.
was commenting in chat that that's not her her
Oh, is it not?
That is
Oh, okay.
her passive.
Stack activation. Okay.
So
All right,
that's
I'll
just
get you
working
now.
off of
Yeah.
that. Yep. Good
Yeah,
point
I've
there
got
in
you.
chat, though, guys.
That's
Appreciate
better.
it.
Yeah. Good one picking that one. Shows how much I know. Carly's Lash, and they fixed this where you can now target inside a wall. You know where you like throw out your spears or no, your
Yep.
knives and stuff.
Yep.
But sometimes you're like, right, if I get the right angle, I have to place it here, and it's in the wall, and it's like, I'll just throw the knife, damn you. Or I had this many a time where I'm standing at the buff camp, and I'm literally like right up against the creeps, hit the hog, go to do my dash, but the indicator's in the wall, and I'm like, go, just go. Why are you not firing? What is broken?
Yes.
And it takes me a few seconds to kind of
Yep.
work it out. I actually
Yep.
got invaded a couple of times just because I was messing around with that. I was like, didn't even see it coming. They incense, the duration of the physical buff was increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds at the start and 5 seconds to 8 seconds at the end, which was much needed. I thought it was definitely one of them ones that you actually want to get up. Mercury Sonic Boom got a. This is a huge nerf for a lot of people. Like when you see this, yeah, Sonic Boom now has a 0.5 seconds build up time after firing before he actually does dash. Now, when you first read that, you think, it's only half a second. But when you're in game, it's like, oh my god, come on, go. I'm sitting there going, come on.
Yeah, the reason is because a lot of people like the build up there. Like you used to be able to just click it, bam, fire it. Okay, you're good to go. And now there's quite that delay because most of the time when you're looking to use a sonic boom, it's like within an instance. Like you need it then and now. You're not trying to anticipate. It's not like a Vulcan ultimate where you're trying to anticipate where the god's going to be. The sonic boom you can use where they're currently at. So I can see how you say that to be a nerf a little bit.
It's kind of funny because it worked. The way it kind of sounds like, right, Sonic Boom, I've got to build up before I go.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is I'm sitting there charging it up in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's true. That's
I'm
true. I
charging
see
it
what
up.
you mean.
Now I've got a delay before I fire. What?
Yeah.
Is that like, that's about right? Put my fingers to the mark, wait for the start of like gun, go. But no, it's definitely a big nerf. Well, I'd say it's a big nerf. It's not really a big nerf, but it
Yeah.
definitely hurts him. It hurts him more in the CC chain because sometimes you're in a
Correct.
fight, like close combat fight, and you're like, oh, I throw out the sonic boom just to spin them up a bit, get them called in. But now they can dodge it a bit easier. They can see it coming.
Yes.
Naja got a lot of these post-hit delay reductions from the Universe Ring, Flame Spear, just a Flame Spear actually. But that was a big thing because there was a lot of times that you'd throw out the ring, go into the spear, and you'd have to hit the button a couple of times because you
Before it would actually pop. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of the times you'd get into a fight, and with all the action going off, you didn't even realise you hadn't got your 2 off, and it was like, oh no. So yeah, that was a big fix, and that was actually really nicely done for them. I quite like that. They did fix the armillary sass where you would slide, so it was more like a graphics fix than anything else. Noir Pillars of Heaven fixed an issue in which a massive unintended damage could occur used in conjunction with Loki's ultimate. I do not know this one.
I think it's funny though. I didn't know it either. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's news to me.
I don't what? Oh, maybe if you got like ulted inside the beam.
Yeah.
Locked
it could
in.
be.
Maybe
It
that's
could be
where the
very well.
damage is coming.
You could be correct.
Fixed an issue where a friendly arachne could be damaged by using drain life on an enemy target by hit by the beams. That could be funny. I wish I seen that. I hate arachne so much. I only ever played Arachne because she was too strong in League, and I was like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. It was either pick Arachne or play against Arachne.
Sure,
so
sure.
it was pretty strong. So I like to see the bug get squished a few times. It's
Yep.
very, very pleasant for me. Odin got some nice changes as well. Same with the post-hit reductions. He's got another new loading card. Another one that I don't like as well. It looks like he's got a Russian hat on.
Are you talking
Kind
about
of.
Odin?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the Odin one though.
The the actual loading card on the loading screen's not so bad. It's the pick one in the lobby that I don't like.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Thumbnails. That and the Fenrir thumbnail one I don't like. The loading screens are fine. It's just those thumbnails. They look a bit eh. Yeah. Okay. So Gonya's Might and Ring of Spears got the post-hit delay reduced again as well. So they're going around a lot of stuff, reducing the delays, making it a bit better, and moving on there. Thanatos Death Scythe angled the preview mesh, the effects for the standard and Jack
I can take the last few.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thanatos, there were some changes there, minor projectile cleanups for graphics. Thor had his model redone, which actually looks really, really good, and they're talking about going back through and redoing a lot of the original gods to be improved. If you go ahead, I think Hi-Rez had an image that put them side by side. You can see kind of the old Thor was a very dull color, whereas the new Thor is very metallic. So they're kind of going for this new metallic look, which makes sense with some of the new art direction. They're trying to
Hi-Rez is a magpie.
Yeah, right. We also saw a lot of the quality of life changes to Thor regarding his abilities, cutting down from 0.5 seconds to 0.2 seconds for between the abilities being able to use. As well here, which this was a huge one, which I'm really surprised about. We saw a Vulcan buff overall in regards to just allowing him. I'm not even going to go through every one, but pretty much all of his abilities have had this scaling adjusted to the point where Vulcan's gotten even stronger. Plus, on top of that, he's able to combo his abilities much, much better. And I guess I'll throw it to Risty. Risty, what are your thoughts on some of these changes?
He's strong in the fact that he can throw them out really fast. It just reminds me of like a Chunga that needed to be nerfed a bit. He doesn't get picked up that often as you default. It very rarely gets picked up. I've probably seen him like 2 or 3 times that, and one of them times I picked him up. But the only slightly annoying thing I kind of find for him is his backfire in mid. When you go to hit him with an ability, like especially Anubis Wrap, and he hits backfire at the same time, it's like, oh, you lucky. Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. But do you know what? I actually don't have too much of a problem with the buffs. It's one of them ones that I thought I was going to be like, I saw it and went, oh, what have you done? What have you done? But people still favour AO. They just kind of AO and Agni. I think what it is, the ultimate's too hard to hit. It's a very difficult ultimate to hit. It's one of them ones though that if you use it correctly, like I've seen the competitive teams do it, they don't use it to finish a fight or when a team fight happens. They just throw it out there, and if it hits someone, they collapse on that person.
Sure.
It's one of them ones, just throw it and see what happens. It's more of an initiator for them rather than a finisher, but it's good in team fights. I actually dodge quite a lot of these now because Vulcans are very easy to predict.
He's starting to become, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting pretty easy to predict, so you can kind of get away with it. His poke's pretty strong. But other than that, no, I'm all right where he is at the minute. I'm not too one way or the other. So
okay,
we'll
and then finally the last god change, guys, was the Zeus changes, where we actually saw they removed the slow immunity on his Aegis Shield. The second ability there reduced the granted protections from 15, 25, 35, 45, 55 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm not seeing a huge change here, and I think that's what you're laughing about, right?
Well, no, I'm thinking, slow down, you little crapper.
Yeah,
so,
right?
It's like Zeus used to get him with like so many slows, or like get him in a world port and he'd go, shield, bye. Just,
yeah.
It's like he's got like nitrous in his engine or something like that, and he'd be gone. So now we can slow him down. It's just, I felt he needed that. So.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing for me is, like, I mean, you get, like, Hasten Fatalis or something like that on Zeus, and he could chase you down ridiculously and has that crazy speed. So, you know, I don't see a ton of people, so happy with it. I mean, it's a huge nerf onto Zeus for the remove the slow immunity for that, so you actually can slow him.
He's still deadly. He's still banned.
Compared to, it's like the sprint button that some people were calling it. Like on Zeus, you just hit it, you were out and good to go. So, kind of interesting there. Let's go ahead and move on to the God review, and I'll let Risty take it away.
Okay, so we got the three that we got for today is Humbats, Isis, and Kali. Now, let's go for Humbats a little bit. Humbats, jungler, actually, I kind of find Humbats a bit weak, to be honest, compared to all the other junglers. I sit there around, and if I get ever so slightly behind, actually, not even slightly behind, sometimes I'm doing the quick camps, and going, why is my basic attack so weak?
Correct.
Like, I'm hitting stuff, and I'm going, he's basically a walking ultimate. That is it. Now, if you can get a full Heartseeker stack, it's lovely, but other than that, I'm just like, what does he do?
Well, yeah, Hanbat's definitely, I mean, to me, Hanbat's definitely plays a role, as you talked about there. I mean, you definitely see him as a jungler, a little bit weaker of a jungler, I feel like, but his main focus for the entire game is using his ultimate within team fights. I think it's super, super effective. I mean, constantly in team fights, I just see him engage a few seconds after the fight has started, leaping from the jungle, coming into lane, and just popping his ultimate. So, I think Hanbat has his place, but he isn't my first pick when it comes down to jungler, and I think you would agree.
Yeah, that's it. The next one up is Isis. Now, Isis is, I'd say, good in a slightly strong position. Good if you've got a good Isis. It's the same with many gods, though. If you get a good one, they're very hard to kind of pin down. With the stun, the slow, and the one, it's very good. That's why you see Sio playing a lot of Isis. Sio's just like tears it up a bit. He's probably one of the best Isis ones at the minute. Yeah. But yeah, no, I wouldn't really nerf anything about her. That's about it. No, I'd leave her where she is. There's not places where I have a problem. It's more the fact that she's just good. You've got to be good to play. She's got a bit of a high skill cap to play.
Yeah, Isis, I mean, I think Isis is great. I think she's balanced. I think she's strong. And I think she's very good middle lane, but I think you have to have played her enough. A new player jumping onto Isis is not going to be very effective. And I wouldn't recommend as a new player trying out, using Isis. I would wait until you've mastered the game a little bit better.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Kali on the next one. Kali just got a slight little buff, which is very nice. She's strong at the minute with chin size. And the reason that she's strong with chin size is because it doesn't take into account the hit progression, which I actually read off one of the posts, just literally before the Reddit post before the show, and I kind of couldn't figure out why, but now I know. So the 0.5 hits that she gets, that's why she tears people up. And the good thing about her as well is late game, actually, even in a game that you fall 3 or 4 levels behind, as long as you get a few, like you've obviously got to get up to like level 15, 16, 17, like that area where you've got some items. But even if you're behind and someone blows you up in 3 hits, with that ultimate, you can still kill somebody.
Oh my gosh, I think Callie's ultimate is
yeah.
so good. It's so good.
If you use it in the right places, it does.
Yes. Yes.
It's with the ultimate, you do tend to dive a little bit more than you should. Well,
Oh, without a doubt.
I love diving, but no, she's definitely an. I think people want to see her nerfed. I think they need to change something about her passive for Joust. Like just
I think they
remove
need
the
to. I
passive.
think they need to overhaul her passive completely and get rid of that. I think it's not going to work. Like I understand in Joust how it doesn't work in a 1v1 because of the way it works with the targeting, but yeah, they need to change it up. It's a good idea on paper, but yeah.
Yeah, I like where they went with the track idea. I felt track would have. Well, I'm going from what it kind of was. It would have been better as like an ultimate ability. Yeah. It's fair enough though. One of them ones. It's all about luck, her passive. It's not really a skill one. Everyone else's one, it's like, oh, okay, you've got all this. But unless you get her target, the target on the person you're killing, you technically don't have a passive. So it's like, what's that about?
Sure.
Bastet, I don't know if they actually changed Bastet's passive. If it's still the death one, I'm not sure. I'll double check. But I had a game once where my first target was the Hebo in the solo lane. And as a jungler, you always go to the solo lane. So it was like, haha, got a jump, got the kill on the first. And that was it. The game steamrolled from that one. It was like, yes.
Yeah.
I got my target a couple of times, and after that, the game ended in 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. But no.
Okay.
What was I going to check? Forgotten now.
All right. Well, guys, that goes ahead and kind of rounds up today's episode of the Smite Update podcast. Special thanks to all the listeners who gave us 5-star reviews on iTunes. We have 2 here I want to go ahead and read off. If you guys aren't familiar, our show is on iTunes. It is the audio-only podcast, so definitely check it out. All 36 episodes after this one's published are up there, so you can go back and check them out, listen to them on the way to work, listen to them at the gym, listen to them when you have some spare time. It's the audio-only version, and this one comes to us from the North American iTunes. And this is from EWN2. He says, this podcast has good perspective on the competitive side of the game Smite, and when paired with the Dead Workers Party on Smite, a listener can get great idea of the game and its updates from both the common man's and the higher-ups view. So special thanks to him. We also have one over on, this one is Canadian. The Canadian iTunes. We have one over here from Stickman Ultimate. Just says, great show. I love it. So special thanks to you guys for giving the 5-star reviews. If you guys have not, excuse me, please go on iTunes and look up the Smite Update. Please go ahead and give us a 5-star review and let us know how you feel about the show. It's always appreciated without a doubt. As always, the Smite Update is a production of OctaneProGaming.com. Please visit Octane Pro Gaming for more great content, along with another podcast I do called the Smite Talk Radio, which I'll be doing here in about 45 minutes on Smite Game. It is another podcast, and my guest this week will be Squiddish. So make sure you guys come hang out. We're going to do an interview with Squiddish and then kind of talk about Smite with some of the viewers. Finally, if you guys are checking this out on iTunes or on YouTube, we record the Smite Update every Sunday after a patch at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OctanePro, SCII. And you can check me out on Twitter at OctanePro, SCII. And Risty, where can people find you and your content?
You can find me at youtube.com/RistyUK, Twitter at RistyUK, and twitch.tv at RistyUK. And there we go.
Excellent, excellent. Now that Risty's got his green screen fixed, he should be up in his stream production quality a little bit more.
I have now put a new schedule up on the offline screen on my Twitch feed, and I'll update it every week. So.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's good. I mean, it's always good, as a streamer to keep an eye on that. Anyways, guys, we will be heading out here. Big thanks to our sponsors, tweakedaudio.com, and we will see you guys next Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern for the next episode of the Smite Update. See you guys then.